So, even though my camera and my editing footwear, well done, even though my editing software and my camera is sort of out of action while my computer's getting sorted, I thought I'd just do a quick video with my phone and a bit of the old Microsoft Movie Maker on another computer, just to sort of put something together to keep you guys in the know. If you don't know already, my GoPro footage that I've accumulated over about probably, the course of about 2 years, have recently become corrupted. It's currently at the computer. Guys here in town were trying to fix it up and sort it out. Hopefully, fingers crossed, it can be restored. I mean, I had footage from mine and Amy's trip to Peru, you know, fishing footage, adventure footage, camping footage, all that sort of stuff. So it was, it's pretty tough to take. It's been beating me up for a little while now, so I'm just trying to sort of stay positive and get things done. One thing I will say is that on the cards for the coming, I don't know, few months, as soon as everything sort of gets back to what I'd say is normal, I've actually got a lot of really cool things planned. I hope you guys understand that I love doing this, and I love doing it for the enjoyment that you guys get, if that makes sense. It satisfies me knowing that people enjoy what I do. I really put a lot of time and a lot of effort into making these sort of videos. I mean, today's a bit different, but with the editing software that we've got there, I don't think a lot of people realise how many man hours go into that type of quality, you know, setup. Things like B-roll footage, putting it all together. For example, if you've got 6 hours worth of fishing footage, you've probably got to go back through about 4.5 hours of it at least per episode, you know, to sort of figure out what's going on. So that's just one thing that I want you guys to understand, that I love doing this, and I love making videos. I love doing it, making quality, high definition, high involvement to keep you guys in the know. So I haven't really got much fishing, or I haven't got any fishing on this video at all, but I just thought I'd make it just to let you know that I am still alive, I am still kicking. I might just go and grab a bit of some tackle there that I've picked up over the Christmas period to explain and to see how it goes. Give us a moment, we'll be back in a sec. Welcome back to another segment of Talking Tackle with Bales. It's a little bit different today. I just thought I'd put something together and explain sort of what's been happening over the Christmas break, I suppose. Now, in my last episode, you noticed that I broke my rod, unfortunately. I boat flipped the mangrove jack into the boat and didn't support his weight, and it basically just loaded the tip of the rod up and just snapped it halfway through. So I was really lucky over the Christmas period that Santa brought me a brand new rod. I have to be thankful. It's a Dobyns Fury. It's their entry-level competition rod, but this thing is an absolute beast. Like, it's 7 foot, 10 to 20 pound. As you can read there, it's used for throwing things like Texas rigs, which I love to throw in slow current. I know a lot of guys love to use little horny toads and things like frogs and hard-legged frogs across the top of the surface, and I've just got it matched with my Corrado. I cannot believe how strong this thing is. I mean, I know there's sort of, everyone wants to have a bit of a fight with the fish, but well, you're not going to see it, unfortunately, but I've caught probably 4 or 5 decent sized jacks, felt the hit, and just poled them out of the stick. It's actually remarkable how effective this rod is. So if I can recommend, if you've got the cash and you'd really like to splash out a little bit, the Fury series is their entry-level series, but I've heard from really good accounts that the Champion series and that sort of stuff heading forward are amazing. Another sort of new bit of tackle that I would never have even considered using, when I was fishing with Sam Herman from Shallow Minded Fishing, he was throwing that jig head there with the underspin there, obviously a different type of bait there, and this is just an old Damiki anchovy shad, I think it is. And I would never have considered to throw a spinnerbait in the snags. Now this thing, I'm really interested to find out, because he absolutely slayed the fish that day. We caught 45 barramundi in about probably 6 hours of fishing. They were all school sized, the biggest one maybe going 75, but they were all like, it was crazy. It was crazy how good of a day it was. So I'm really interested to throw this thing around here. It's got a screw lock tip. This is about a 3/0 weedless hook, and I think that's a 3/4 ounce which is heavier than I've thrown before, but I'm really intrigued to see how it goes. So once again, thanks for watching Talking Tackle with Bales, and hopefully we can catch some fish, and I'll see you out in the water next time. All right, so there you go, guys. Nothing special today, just a bit of an update. I've got in contact with the computer company. It's looking like they're still not sure. They're still a couple of weeks away from figuring out whether they can restore it or not. They mentioned that because it's the file sizes are so big and they are so specific and high quality that the time to restore them, if they can find them, is enormous. So fingers crossed we can get some of it back. You know, even a minimal amount, I'll be stoked. But if I can recommend one thing, guys, back everything up. Every time you go fishing and you want to record something, back it up to an external hard drive, back it up to a separate USB as well. Like both my main computer and my main hard drive aren't recognizing either of the files. So I don't know whether it's the USB that's corrupted the computer or the computer's corrupted the USB. I don't know. So keep that in mind. Make sure you're always fluent and always fastidious with doing that sort of stuff. Every time I go fishing, the first thing I do when I get home, transfer it straight from my SD cards, straight from my camera, straight from everything to the computer, to the external hard drive. So I'll have to figure out maybe a slightly different method, maybe perhaps a bit more safer method, I don't know. But what I can recommend is that you just go home, be fastidious every time you save it, and if you can, save it in as many places as you can. Obviously camera files aren't small, so you have to sort of, I suppose, take that into account. Other than that, the tinny is fixed. All the electrical problems are gone, so we're going to get that thing back in the water ASAP. I'm looking at, in the coming weeks, doing like a camping trip, perhaps with Amy, bit of catch and cook. I'm hoping to do a lot of targeted barramundi fishing now that it's open season. I love them. It's an addiction. I grew up with fish this big, and now I know I can catch fish this big and bigger. It's just one of those things. So I'm really looking forward to that, guys. If you have any ideas for me, please let me know so that I can start putting it all together and then pushing it forward into the future. So I'm really excited. I also may have got in contact with a pretty big YouTuber to hopefully go for a fish at some point. So we'll see what happens. But other than that, guys, don't do drugs. Do your homework. Be good to your mum. Bales out.